Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders' approach to handling star players and contract negotiations has transformed significantly with new ownership. And nowhere is this more apparent than in the ongoing situation with wide receiver Terry McLaurin. McLaurin, who entered the league and the franchise under former owner Dan Snyder, has seen his career trajectory intertwined with the ups and downs of an organization historically known for its chaotic management. Snyder, who helmed the team for decades, was notorious for interfering in personnel decisions, often overriding coaches, general managers, and front office staff, creating a culture where consistency was elusive. With McLaurin now facing a potential contract extension or trade scenario under Josh Harris's ownership, insiders suggest that the difference in leadership style is profound. ESPN's John Keim highlights that Harris, unlike Snyder, does not meddle for headlines or public attention. This subtle yet critical shift is reshaping how McLaurin's future with the team is being negotiated and perceived both internally and externally. McLaurin's tenure with Washington has been remarkable, not only for his on-field performance, but for the way his relationship with the organization has evolved amid shifting leadership. Under Snyder, McLaurin's potential extensions would have been subject to owner whims, with public statements, social media reactions, and even media speculation influencing decisions disproportionately. Keim's reporting underscores that Snyder's management style often created friction and uncertainty, leaving front office personnel constantly recalibrating plans based on unpredictable interference. In contrast, Harris's arrival introduces a more structured, analytical, and collaborative environment, where decisions are informed by thorough assessments and discussions rather than impulsive reactions. This structural shift is critical to understanding why McLaurin's current contract situation, despite his public trade request, is less about conflict and more about methodical negotiation. Every player, especially a top-tier receiver like McLaurin, now navigates an environment where transparency, data-driven rationale, and measured dialogue define the path forward, marking a new chapter for both him and the franchise. The front office's role in McLaurin's contract negotiations cannot be overstated, particularly given Harris's operational philosophy. Rather than relying on headlines or external pressures, Harris demands detailed reports and justifications for proposed deals. Sources within the organization indicate that General Manager Martin Mayhew and Team President Jason Wright, alongside other executives, compile extensive comparative analyses, including salary cap implications, positional market rates, and long-term strategic fit. McLaurin's contract, in this context, becomes more than a financial transaction. It transforms into a careful evaluation of competitive balance, team cohesion, and future potential. Harris's leadership ensures that while he retains ultimate approval authority, the initiative lies firmly with the professionals he hires. Their insights, combined with data-backed arguments, form the backbone of any offer extended to McLaurin. This approach signals a stark departure from Snyder's tenure, where decisions often reflected personal whims rather than disciplined front office-led processes, providing a blueprint for sustainable, long-term success. Despite the ongoing negotiations, there's a mutual desire for continuity between McLaurin and the Commanders, even following his public trade request. Such requests, insiders suggest, are strategic tools intended to create leverage rather than indicate irrevocable dissatisfaction. McLaurin's value to the team, both as a premier wide receiver and a locker room leader, makes a trade an unattractive option unless terms are exceptionally favorable. Front office discussions, therefore, revolve around balancing McLaurin's expectations with fiscal responsibility and roster flexibility, an exercise in compromise and long-term planning. Sources familiar with the negotiations emphasize that both sides recognize the necessity of collaboration. McLaurin wants to compete at the highest level, while the Commanders aim to assemble a roster capable of contending for a Super Bowl. Understanding these dynamics is key to grasping why the negotiation process, though intricate, remains constructive rather than adversarial. Josh Harris's management style introduces an unusual blend of involvement without interference, an aspect that significantly impacts McLaurin's contract talks. Harris reportedly engages deeply in the initial stages of review, asking pointed questions, challenging assumptions, and demanding data-driven justification for offers presented to him. However, once satisfied that his front office has conducted due diligence, he delegates authority to the executives he trusts, allowing them to implement strategies without micromanagement. This approach contrasts sharply with Snyder, whose interventions often derailed or delayed negotiations, fostering uncertainty and public confusion. For McLaurin, this means that while Harris is informed and engaged, the actual negotiation environment is more predictable, disciplined, and professionally managed. The emphasis on structured dialogue, objective assessment, and calculated decision-making creates a framework in which both player and team can align objectives without the distractions of reactive ownership influence. The broader context of the Commanders' front office approach highlights a strategic pivot in organizational culture. Historically, player relations, contract negotiations, and team-building decisions were subject to ad hoc reactions and public theatrics, a pattern emblematic of Snyder's ownership era. Now, under Harris, the focus is on process, accountability, and clear communication channels, ensuring that decisions regarding key players like McLaurin are grounded in analysis and long-term planning. This cultural shift extends beyond contractual matters. It impacts draft strategy, free agency, and overall roster construction. Insiders indicate that Harris's willingness to rely on expert staff rather than personal intuition creates an environment where negotiations are professional, methodical, and respectful of all parties' interests. For McLaurin, this structured environment may ultimately provide the stability needed to maximize his career potential while aligning with the team's broader championship ambitions. Analysts have emphasized that resolving McLaurin's contract situation quickly is critical for the Commanders' competitive outlook. The longer negotiations linger, the greater the risk of distraction and misalignment within the roster, particularly when building a team capable of contending for a Super Bowl. McLaurin's role as a top-tier receiver makes him central to offensive planning, game strategy, and team morale. As such, delays in finalizing a deal could ripple across multiple levels, from quarterback chemistry to salary cap allocation. However, the disciplined approach favored by Harris and the front office suggests that patience, thorough evaluation, and mutual understanding are being prioritized over rushed agreements. This measured methodology, while potentially extending the negotiation timeline, reflects a commitment to sustainable decision-making that positions both the player and the franchise for long-term success. Compromises are inevitable in any negotiation, and the McLaurin situation exemplifies the delicate balance required between player expectations and organizational constraints. Front office personnel have indicated that concessions may involve contract structure adjustments, performance incentives, and guaranteed compensation components, all designed to align player motivations with team strategy. From McLaurin's perspective, accepting such terms is essential to secure financial stability while maintaining competitive opportunity. From the team's perspective, ensuring fiscal responsibility while retaining a premier talent is equally vital. The process reflects a broader professionalization of decision-making, moving away from reactive, owner-driven approaches to an era where negotiation strategy is methodical, transparent, and mutually beneficial. Both sides understand that collaboration, rather than confrontation, maximizes their collective potential for success. Public perception also plays a nuanced role in McLaurin's contract saga, with fans and media closely monitoring developments. Unlike Snyder's era, where public statements often influence internal decisions, Harris's leadership emphasizes insulating negotiations from external noise, relying on internal analysis and strategic discretion. The front office is deliberate, Communication strategy seeks to balance transparency with confidentiality, preventing leaks or speculation from disrupting negotiations. For McLaurin, this means that while public attention is unavoidable, the actual deal-making process remains insulated, professional, and driven by meritocratic assessments rather than media pressure. By controlling the narrative internally and maintaining a disciplined approach, the organization aims to ensure that outcomes are determined by rational evaluation rather than sensational headlines, fostering an environment conducive to both player satisfaction and long-term team performance. Ultimately, the Terry McLaurin contract situation represents more than a single negotiation. It symbolizes the transformation of the Washington Commanders under new ownership. Josh Harris's approach, characterized by strategic involvement, trust in front office expertise, and a commitment to data-driven decision-making, contrasts sharply with the interference-laden practices of Dan Snyder's tenure. McLaurin, as a cornerstone of the team's offensive strategy and a leader on the field, embodies the intersection of talent, loyalty, and organizational evolution. As negotiations continue, the emphasis on compromise, collaboration, and professional negotiation reflects a broader cultural shift within the franchise. By fostering an environment that prioritizes structure, accountability, and measured decision-making, the Commanders are positioning themselves not only to retain key talent like McLaurin, but also to compete sustainably at the highest level, potentially realizing championship aspirations that have eluded them for decades. The stakes for the Commanders and Terry McLaurin extend far beyond the confines of a single season or contract negotiation. Both parties recognize the necessity of alignment to achieve long-term success, particularly when pursuing a Super Bowl caliber roster. The disciplined approach favored by Josh Harris ensures that McLaurin's value is assessed in the context of overall team strategy, salary cap realities, and future planning. For McLaurin, remaining with the team offers a platform to continue his growth and showcase elite performance, while the Commanders benefit from retaining a foundational piece critical to offensive success. This evolving partnership, shaped by structured negotiation, strategic compromise, and mutual respect, highlights a new era for the organization. It demonstrates how thoughtful ownership and a professional front office can transform previously contentious situations into opportunities for sustainable success, setting a precedent for player relations, contract negotiations, and competitive ambition moving forward. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Jason Kelce, the legendary center who has long been a cornerstone of the NFL, has reportedly signed what insiders are already calling a historic contract with the Washington Commanders, sparking a whirlwind of speculation across sports media. Sources suggest the deal not only elevates Kelce into a rare echelon of highly compensated offensive linemen, but also positions the Commanders as a team signaling serious intent for the next era. Rumors indicate that the structure of the contract includes both a substantial guaranteed sum and performance incentives designed to reward durability and leadership, the kind of numbers that rarely cross the desk of a center, regardless of their reputation. Fans are buzzing about the strategic implications, debating whether this move could reshape the Commanders' offensive line permanently, creating a nucleus around which they can build championship-level plays. Social media is alight with excitement, as whispers of Kelce's locker room influence now pairing with elite compensation have fans imagining bold new scenarios for the team's future. The deal itself is rumored to be one of those landmark moments in NFL contract history, comparable to the few times offensive linemen have transcended their position to command headline-making salaries. Analysts point to Kelce's remarkable consistency, his ability to anchor a line under pressure, and his proven leadership as primary motivators for the Commanders' willingness to invest heavily. Insiders close to the negotiations have suggested that behind the closed doors, there was a combination of strategic vision and personal admiration that pushed the negotiations into uncharted territory, with team executives reportedly prioritizing long-term cohesion over short-term budgetary restraint. The implications extend beyond the field, as marketers and sponsors are already circling, understanding that Kelce's arrival could enhance the franchise's profile nationally. Conversations among former players indicate a mix of respect and envy, with some questioning whether this could inspire a wave of similarly structured deals across the league, potentially rewriting the financial narrative for veteran linemen across the sport as rumors continue to swirl. Fans of the Commanders are reportedly in a state of euphoric speculation, imagining how Kelce's presence will shift the dynamics of every game. Social media platforms are flooded with animated debates, memes, and mock lineups where fans envision Kelce leading the offensive front with the kind of dominance he has consistently displayed throughout his career. The chatter ranges from tactical implications, like his impact on quarterback protection schemes and run blocking efficiency, to the symbolic, where Kelce's signing is seen as a statement of ambition and a declaration that the Commanders are serious about contending at the highest level. Rumors of his leadership extending beyond practice into mentoring young linemen have fans dreaming of a transformed locker room culture. Even casual followers of the league are captivated, as speculation about team chemistry, future draft strategies, and possible playoff trajectories spreads like wildfire, creating an atmosphere of almost cinematic intrigue around what many are already dubbing a game-changing acquisition. Inside sources hint that the financial details of the contract may include creative clauses designed to protect both the team and Kelce, which has set off a flurry of conjecture among sports economists and NFL insiders. The structure is said to be multifaceted, balancing immediate guaranteed payouts with performance-driven bonuses that could propel Kelce into record-setting earnings for his position. Rumors suggest clauses related to durability, snap counts, and even community engagement might be part of the package, blending traditional compensation with novel incentives, signaling a more holistic approach to valuing a player beyond mere statistics. Pundits are dissecting every line of speculation, theorizing how such innovations could alter contract negotiations across the league. Meanwhile, fan forums are filled with excitement and cautious optimism, with supporters analyzing every angle, from how Kelce's presence might influence draft priorities to how other linemen might respond to this new financial precedent, amplifying the buzz surrounding the entire franchise. There's also intense speculation about how this signing impacts rival teams, as whispers circulate that the Commanders' offensive scheme could be completely reshaped to maximize Kelce's abilities. Analysts have begun theorizing adjustments in blocking schemes, tempo variations, and even quarterback decision-making patterns that might capitalize on having a veteran center with Kelce's unique skill set. Rumors suggest rival general managers are reviewing their rosters and salary caps in real time, wondering how to respond to this unexpected shakeup in NFC dynamics. Conversations around the league imply that the ripple effect might extend beyond immediate tactical changes, influencing draft strategies, free agent pursuits, and even coaching adjustments. Fans and commentators alike are captivated by the idea that Kelce's signing could serve as a catalyst for a subtle but significant power shift in the league, reigniting debates over which teams can realistically compete at the top, while whispers of strategic counter moves keep analysts and social media buzzing in near frenzy over the evolving competitive landscape. Speculation around Kelce's motivations for joining the Commanders is equally intense, with insiders suggesting a blend of financial reward, personal ambition, and desire to contribute to a team with potential to contend. Rumors indicate that Kelce's discussions with the front office went beyond numbers, delving into long-term vision, leadership culture, and the type of environment that could allow him to extend his career while leaving a lasting legacy. Analysts are pondering whether his choice was influenced by coaching philosophies, potential playoff prospects, or even lifestyle considerations in the Washington area. Fans are theorizing endlessly about locker room dynamics, team chemistry, and how Kelce's established reputation as a mentor could transform young talent. Social media speculation has reached near mythical proportions, with animated debates on podcasts, YouTube comment sections, and fan groups dissecting every angle, from his diet and conditioning routines to how he might influence offensive play calling under this rumored historic contract scenario. Rumors about the long-term effects of the deal are already swirling, suggesting Kelce's presence could reshape the Commanders' identity for years to come. Sports insiders speculate that the team might center its drafting, coaching, and player development strategies around Kelce's skill set, aiming to create a cohesive, elite offensive front that maximizes both pass protection and run efficiency. Whispered analyses suggest that opponents may need to adjust their defensive schemes preemptively, anticipating the amplified effectiveness of a line led by a player of Kelce's caliber. Conversations on Sports Talk shows highlight potential domino effects, including future contracts for linemen across the league and the changing perception of leadership roles on and off the field. Fans, fueled by rumor and hype, are imagining iconic moments, highlight reels, and playoff pushes, interpreting the signing as a transformative decision that elevates the Commanders from perennial competitors to a team with serious championship aspirations, creating nearly non-stop chatter across every platform. The buzz surrounding Kelce has extended far beyond the typical NFL circles, with mainstream media, celebrity commentators, and social influencers joining the conversation. Rumors suggest that endorsement deals and marketing opportunities are already being lined up, with brands eager to associate with both Kelce's personal brand and the historic nature of the Commanders' acquisition. Analysts speculate that this signing could redefine the marketability of offensive linemen, traditionally one of the least spotlighted positions in football, as Kelce's reputation for both performance and personality makes him uniquely suited to attract attention. Fans are dissecting every public appearance, interview, and tweet for hidden hints, fueling speculation about his potential role in community initiatives, public events, and media ventures. The rumor mill suggests that his multifaceted impact on field, dominance, locker room influence, and cultural relevance could cement Kelce's status not only as a football legend, but also as a transformative figure in the broader sports landscape. Inside locker room whispers suggest that Kelce's arrival could spark a new level of competitiveness and professionalism among the Commanders' roster. Rumors indicate that veteran players are already adapting to anticipated leadership adjustments, with younger linemen possibly being groomed under Kelce's mentorship to accelerate their development. Analysts are speculating about changes in team rituals, communication dynamics, and practice intensity that could accompany the integration of a player of Kelce's stature. Conversations among former teammates imply that Kelce's influence extends beyond technical skill, touching on resilience, decision-making under pressure, and the mental aspects of the game. Fans are drawn to the human drama in these speculations, imagining locker room interactions, motivational speeches, and subtle shifts in hierarchy. Social media debates frequently highlight imagined scenarios where Kelce's leadership could elevate team morale, catalyze individual growth, and create a more unified championship-ready Commander squad, fueling excitement and rumor alike. Financial analysts are rumored to be closely examining the implications of Kelce's contract on the Commander's salary cap, with speculation suggesting creative accounting methods and bonus structures could make this historic deal feasible without compromising future roster flexibility. Insiders hint that performance-based incentives might be structured in innovative ways to reward Kelce for both individual achievement and team success, creating a blueprint that other franchises may soon emulate. The rumor mill has also picked up chatter about potential cascading effects, including how this deal might pressure other veteran centers to renegotiate contracts, influencing the market across the league. Fans are deeply engaged, running mock cap scenarios, debating trade-offs, and theorizing which emerging stars could benefit from a similar approach. In essence, this single rumored signing has ignited multi-level speculation, tactical, financial, cultural, and legacy-driven, creating an ecosystem of analysis, debate, and excitement that keeps the Commanders and Kelce at the center of every sports conversation. Finally, the narrative around Jason Kelce's historic signing with the Commanders continues to build, fueled by layers of rumor, speculation, and bold projections from both experts and fans alike. Whispers indicate that the contract could symbolize a shift not only in how teams value elite offensive linemen, but also in the broader philosophy of franchise building around proven leadership. Analysts are speculating that the deal might spark a ripple effect in the league, prompting other teams to pursue transformative signings that blend talent, personality, and marketability. Social media commentary suggests that this moment could become a defining chapter in both Kelce's career and the Commanders' history, inspiring documentaries, highlight reels, and long-form storytelling that elevates the narrative beyond mere statistics. Fans are collectively imagining epic playoff runs, game-winning blocks, and inspirational locker room moments, transforming rumor into a vibrant, almost cinematic anticipation. Every tweet, post, and discussion adds to the growing mythology, ensuring that Kelce's rumored historic contract with the Commanders remains one of the most talked about topics in football for months, if not years to come. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.